The first, information stage, will concentrate on training and education. Under its boundaries, the inexperienced team lays the groundwork for future involvement by learning how new employees are hired.
The team attends training on equal employment opportunities and takes a staffing for teamwork class. The team helps write the ad for the new employee, screens the resumes, and takes part in the interviews. But the boundary condition is that the leader makes the final decision.
Having proven themselves within the first boundary condition, the team moves on to the second stage.
The team involvement stage encourages them to take a more hands-on role.
The team still writes the ad and screens the resumes, but now the team also designs the interviews and selects the top candidates. Under the boundary conditions, the leader sees the top 10 candidates and still makes the final decision.
After again proving themselves, the team graduates to the next boundary. The planning stage reinforces those gains and sets up the final step.
Now the team writes the ad, screens the resumes, and conducts the interviews. Then the team selects the top 3 candidates. The boundary is the leader and the team make the final decision together, and the team attends classes on budgeting and barrier busting.
So far, the team has proven itself by working within 3 boundaries. Now it's time for the educated and experienced team to move on to the ownership stage.
The leader might simply say, "It's your budget, your head count. You decide if you need to have more staff or create another solution."
The team, reviewing the problem, may decide that hiring another employee is not the most effective solution. There may be other ways to change the workflow or to remove restrictive policies that prevent the team from exceeding its goals.
The boundary condition now is that the team is expected to base its decisions on its core values and learned competencies. The ultimate boundaries are the values of the team and the goals of the business.
The team is empowered by the faith of the organization to make the right decision within those boundaries.
As a team demonstrates its competence, it pushes its boundaries out.
But time, fear, budgets, turf wars, and even legal regulations will try to push those boundaries back. Managers need to set boundary conditions very carefully, and the teams need to understand the forces involved.
Setting conditions for boundaries is half art and half science.
Here are 4 common mistakes that managers sometimes make when they set boundaries.
The team leader may set boundaries too broadly or narrowly. Boundaries may be unrealistic, or arbitrary changes may be made to existing boundaries. Let's examine each case.
Here are 4 common mistakes that managers sometimes make when they set boundaries. Sometimes managers want to demonstrate their commitment to high employee involvement by making the boundaries too broad. Pushing team members into trying things that they are not yet prepared for is a form of abdication.
The absence of close boundaries can be a source of anxiety, leading people to do less, not more. Conversely, they might even push too hard to see where the broad boundaries might stop.
It's best to start narrowly and to gradually loosen constraints as the team performs to the edge of the narrow boundaries. Starting too broadly and having to pull boundaries back can demoralize a team.
Other managers will be too concerned that the team will make wrong choices and tend to set the boundaries too tightly.
Then the limits look no different to the team than any other set of policies and procedures. When a team that has already demonstrated real competence is forced to run with training wheels, it can be frustrating.
Another mistake is to set unrealistic boundary conditions relating to issues that neither the team nor its leader can address.
When there really is no choice, the group should be told openly and honestly that the policy is not negotiable. Creating false expectations is unfair and destructive.
There is another danger whenever a manager decides the team hasn't come up with the right idea, even if they have worked within the established boundary conditions. He or she may make arbitrary changes in the boundary conditions until they get their own way.
That is bad practice. The team usually feels betrayed and the trust level breaks down. The art of setting boundary conditions requires that leaders think through the real constraints before they communicate to the team. Both parties have to be committed to developing the team and acting on its principles.
Early in the team's development,